Hello and thanks for joining me again. I've got a funny, light-hearted little poem for you now, and it's a true story. I assure you, it's absolute fact. When I came to Australia way back, nearly half a century ago, I came for the warmth, for the sunny days, the endless summers, and the beautiful sandy beaches and the gorgeous girls, and all of those wonders that you see advertised abroad about what Australia is, and I thought, that'll do me. I'm off to Australia. I'll never be cold again. Well, I landed in midwinter, and it was the coldest winter on record in Sydney. And the foreman said to me one day, I got a job in construction. He said, hop in, we have to go to Orange, west of the Blue Mountains. You'll have to drive back an old truck that the boys left there. They left it there for some reason. They should have brought it back. So we drove off out in the lovely warm car over the top of the mountains, out to the town of Orange, till just getting dark. And on closer inspection of the old lorry, I found there was no windscreen in it. That's why nobody wanted to drive it back. And it started, and my man drove away, and I went off up the mountain, and it was getting colder and colder and colder into the night as I went over the Blue Mountains. And when I got to the town of Blackheath up the very top, it was already snowing. And I'm driving through Blackheath, and the snow is just pouring in the windscreen at me. But I survived it. In those days, you didn't say die. There was no such thing as showing any signs of weakness, Anyway, many years later, I was at the Gympie muster, and Marco Gliori, that wonderful Australian bush poet, asked us all of the poets, he said, you'll have to write a 1-minute poem, and he gave us all a line to go into our poem. And my line was, it must have been all a joke. And I was wondering, what'll I write about? And I thought of that story. And so this is what I come up with. Here we go. Cheers, Marco, if you're watching this. I was ploughing fields in Ireland. And I stopped one day to read the magazine Australia, and I felt a burning need. A need for sandy beaches, Tooheys beer and Riches. Come to the sun, it proudly said, and before I had it read, sure I was surfing with the Sheilas in my head. Mid-July in Orange, and the foreman says to me, Joe, you'll have to drive that old lorry there to Sydney by the sea. They need it for the morning. Go now, make no delay. So there's only the Blue Mountains standing in your way. Well, I drove her up the mountain. I was young boy, and I was keen, but I had ne'er a jumper, and the lorry, no windscreen. Upward ever, upward through the night, and when I reached the summit, Blackheath was turning white. White powder snow came drifting into my limousine, drifting in the windscreen, or where the windscreen should have been. I was shivering and shaking. I thought, I'll surely croak. Come to the sun, my sorry ass. It must have been all a joke. Thank you very much. See you next week.